Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to being genuinely well-informed without, all the information overload. Today, we're diving into a topic that's not just trending, it's transforming pretty much everything around us. Generative AI. We're talking about the tech that generates text, images, even music. But beyond the headlines, how does it really work? And maybe more importantly, how can you actually harness its power, not just effectively, but responsibly too?
Yeah, it's a field moving incredibly fast, and our mission for this deep dive is really to cut through some of that noise. We've gathered, a stack of foundational insights on writing AI prompts and what goes beyond that. And we're aiming to give you a direct path to understanding its core mechanics, exploring the really diverse outputs, highlighting its impact on business, on creativity, and also discussing those crucial considerations for, building an AI-resilient career.
Exactly. We'll distill the key nuggets of knowledge, maybe uncover some surprising facts, and definitely offer practical, actionable takeaways so you can grasp the essentials quickly, bypass the overwhelm, and hopefully step confidently into this AI-powered future. Okay, so let's unpack this. We hear AI thrown around everywhere, but what specifically is generative AI? How does it fit into the broader AI landscape?
That's a great place to start. What's fascinating here is really understanding the fundamental difference in what the AI is for. Think of it this way. Generative AI, or Gen AI, that's the innovator. The artist, maybe, its main job is creating totally new content, text, images, code, whatever stuff that didn't exist before. It's genuinely creative. Then you have what's called discriminative AI. That's more like the meticulous librarian, or the judge. Its role is sorting, categorizing, making predictions based on data that's already there. They both have really unique, incredibly valuable roles.
Okay, so different flavors of AI, each with its own specialty. Got it. Beyond that kind of creative versus analytical split, how else do we categorize these systems? Can you maybe walk us through the main types we should probably know about?
Absolutely. One really critical distinction is how the AI learns. The most powerful and adaptable type generally is machine learning, ML. That's where AI learns from just vast amounts of data without being explicitly programmed step by step for every single task. This is the engine behind, the personalized recommendations you see online, or the decision-making in self-driving cars navigating these complex streets, and even advanced medical systems that help diagnose diseases from X-rays or MRI scans. The AI just gets smarter the more data it sees.
Wow, that's a huge range of applications.
It really is. Then on the other end, you have AI that simply follows specific pre-programmed rules. Very rigid. This type isn't really about learning. It's more about consistent, reliable execution, doing the same thing perfectly every time. So it's perfect for critical tasks where precision and predictability are just paramount. Things like monitoring the complex systems in, say, a nuclear power plant, or ensuring product quality on an automated manufacturing line. It doesn't adapt, but it also never deviates.
Okay. And within that machine learning category, I've heard terms like supervised and unsupervised learning. If I'm trying to get a shortcut here, what does that actually mean for us?
Right. That's a crucial distinction about how the AI learns from all that data. Supervised learning is, it's kind of like having a teacher with an answer key for every single problem. The AI is trained on data that's already been labeled with the correct answer, the right output. So, for instance, in finance, you might train AI on thousands of transactions already marked fraudulent or legitimate by humans. That lets it spot new patterns that look like fraud. Or in healthcare, specialized AI platforms use supervised learning on labeled patient scans to detect early signs of disease, which can seriously improve diagnosis speed and accuracy.
So it's basically seeing patterns where a human has already pointed out this is what that pattern means.
Precisely, yeah. Unsupervised learning, on the other hand, is more like trying to solve a jigsaw puzzle without the picture on the box lid. The AI gets unlabeled data, and its job is to just find patterns, structures, maybe anomalies, all on its own. This is incredibly powerful for finding hidden insights, things like identifying distinct customer buying habits that maybe no human analyst would ever spot, or personalizing your social media feed by grouping users with similar interests without anyone telling it what those interests should be. So these different learning styles really dictate what kind of problems the AI is good at solving.
Okay, that makes sense. And this seems to lead right into this idea of the AI-human partnership.
Yeah.
If AI is learning and creating in these really powerful ways, where do we as humans fit into this picture now?
Yeah, stepping back to see the bigger picture. The real insight isn't just that AI can process data faster. That's part of it, sure. But it's more that it fundamentally frees up human potential from, the routine stuff, the rote execution. It lets us redirect our most valuable assets, our creativity, critical thinking, our unique know-how to tackle entirely new, more complex challenges. This isn't just about efficiency, it's really a redefinition of human value in the workplace, I think. And this collaboration is already transforming fields. In healthcare, AI acts like a diagnostic co-pilot, helping doctors spot things like cancer earlier. In education, it can personalize lessons, adapting to how fast each student learns. In business, it streamlines those routine jobs, freeing up teams to focus on strategy, innovation. It can even predict when manufacturing equipment might break down before it happens. Pretty amazing.
It really does sound like a superpowered assistant.
Yeah.
But how does AI actually understand the instructions we give it, especially when we type out a prompt? Because it's not really thinking like a person, right?
That's a really important point to clarify. No, it's not human consciousness or thought. AI's understanding is built on, let's say, 3 key things. First, it's huge training data. Just a massive volume of examples it learns from, almost like it absorbed every book in a giant library. It learns statistical patterns, relationships between words. Second, context. So if you ask an AI weather bot, should I take an umbrella today? It uses your location, the current forecast, to infer that umbrella relates to the possibility of rain where you are. And third, relevance. Complex algorithms figure out the best response for your query based on all those learned patterns. Think about virtual assistants like Siri or Alexa. They use these mechanisms to interpret your everyday questions. They seem intelligent, but it's actually really sophisticated pattern matching.
Okay, that gives a much clearer picture of how AI learns and understands. But let's get into the fun stuff now. What kind of incredible new things is this creative artist AI actually producing for us?
Right, this is where generative AI really shows its power. It offers a truly diverse range of outputs. We're talking text, images, audio, video. It's almost like having a multi-talented creative studio right at your fingertips. And it's constantly evolving, creating completely new content, often at speeds and scales we couldn't even imagine before.
Let's start with text. We've all probably seen some AI-generated writing by now. But what are the main techniques behind it?
Well, beyond the basic methods like, say, template-based writing or just free-form generation, which are great for brainstorming blog post ideas or maybe drafting some ad copy, we get into more sophisticated stuff like natural language generation, NLG, and text summarization. NLG is pretty advanced. It's about generating human-like text from structured data, turning numbers into narratives. Imagine it taking raw temperature, humidity, wind speed data, and instantly writing a concise weather forecast. Or maybe generating short news updates about stock market movements directly from financial data feeds. This frees up human journalists for more in-depth work. It basically acts like a translator, turning complex data into narratives that are easy for businesses or anyone to digest.
And summarization. I can see that being incredibly useful, especially with how much information is out there.
Oh, absolutely. It's a huge time saver. Text summarization basically condenses long documents into shorter summaries. And there are kind of 2 main flavors here. There's extractive summarization. This identifies and literally pulls out the most important sentences directly from the original text. It bases this on things like word frequency, maybe headings, where the sentence appears in a paragraph. It's like taking a highlighter to the key points. Then there's abstractive summarization. This tries to understand the deeper meaning and generates entirely new sentences or passages. It captures the essence, like a human would when summarizing a long report, maybe a company's annual performance review, without just copying sentences.
Interesting. Okay, so beyond words, AI can create visuals. What's the real game changer with AI images? Is it just stock photos?
It's way more than that, although it impacts that too. Think about a small business owner. They used to spend maybe thousands on stock photos or hiring graphic designers. Now, with tools like Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, or DALL-E 3, and that last one is integrated right into Microsoft Bing, making it super accessible, they have the power to generate stunning, unique visuals for marketing, websites, even just concept art, almost instantly. It dramatically changes how quickly and affordably ideas can be visualized. AI also helps with data visualization, automatically creating and updating complex charts from business data in real time. And for perfecting existing photos, AI in tools like Adobe Photoshop can enhance images, fix grainy pictures, add color to black and white photos. It can even seamlessly combine elements from multiple images. It turns what used to be hours of tedious work into minutes.
I'm also really fascinated by what AI can do with audio and voice, especially thinking about things like accessibility.
Right. And this brings us to natural language processing, or NLP. That's the AI's ability to understand human language, whether it's written or spoken. Voice assistants like Apple Siri, Amazon's Alexa, Google Assistant, they're prime examples. They use NLP to turn your speech into text, figure out what you want, and then act on it. For music creation, we have some really innovative tools now, like OpenAI's MuseNet, which can generate music in different styles, or tools like Boomy, which lets basically anyone create original songs without needing traditional musical skills. It's quite something. There's even Refusion, which can create songs, lyrics, and vocals just from simple text prompts. And then text-to-speech, TTS technology. It's revolutionized audiobooks and accessibility. Tools like Natural Reader provide incredibly human-like voiceovers, and things like Speechify offer voice cloning, which means someone could transform their written content into audio using their own unique voice.
Wow. Okay. And finally, video. Video creation and editing, that's always been notoriously time-consuming. How is AI really changing that landscape?
Yeah, video is a big one. AI is a total game changer here. It's drastically cutting down production time and opening up new creative avenues. Take video summarization, for example. It can condense, say, a 2-hour event, a corporate meeting, a sports game, an educational lecture into a 5-minute highlight reel automatically. That's incredibly useful for news outlets, content creators, or just busy professionals who need the key takeaways. For special effects, AI is enhancing CGI, allowing for realistic facial replacements, making actors look younger or older seamlessly, and it dramatically improves scene enhancements. Tools like Runway and even features in Adobe software are pushing boundaries here. But perhaps most impressively, auto-editing tools like some features in Adobe Premiere Pro now offer video-to-text editing. You can literally edit the video by just editing the automatically generated text transcript. Imagine the time that saves in post-production. It's huge.
It's really clear AI can do so much, transforming how we create across all these different mediums. It's kind of mind-blowing. But how do we, as the users, make sure we're actually getting the best results out of it? You mentioned prompts earlier. Given how precise these systems seem to need things, what are the most common ways people mess up when writing prompts? And what usually happens then?
That's a fantastic question because a well-crafted prompt isn't just, an instruction. It's really the blueprint for the AI's response. It's the core of this human AI conversation. And yeah, the biggest pitfalls often lead to just generic, unusable, or completely off-target output. For example, being too vague. Asking, "What is AI about?" will likely just give you a generic Wikipedia-style entry. A much better prompt would be something like, "Summarize the key trends in AI marketing specifically for 2023, focusing on the impact for small businesses." See the difference. Another common mistake is assuming a one-prompt-fits-all approach. Prompts often need tweaking, refinement. It's really more of a dialogue with the AI. People also sometimes overcomplicate instructions, or they forget to define the target audience, or they don't specify the exact role they want the AI to play. Like, imagine asking for a social media post without saying if it's for LinkedIn or TikTok or Instagram. The tone, the length, everything would need to be totally different.
All right, so it really is about being incredibly specific and understanding that the AI needs a clear framework, clear boundaries to deliver what you actually want. And that really highlights the importance of human judgment in all this. How do we balance AI's incredible strengths with its known limitations?
Exactly. AI offers that incredible speed, unparalleled consistency, the ability to handle just overwhelming complexity and immense scalability. It can grow with almost any job, processing data at a scale no human team could ever match. However, and this is crucial, it fundamentally lacks true creativity and emotional intelligence, real human insight. Sure, it can draft ideas for writing or art, but it's the human touch that adds deep meaning, nuance, genuine emotion. AI also relies heavily, totally, on the quality of its training data. So that old saying, garbage in, garbage out, is very, very real here. It can lead to biased or just plain inaccurate results. It can also struggle with subtle contexts, especially cultural nuances or situational specifics that humans just get. And it often faces challenges in adaptation and generalization, meaning it might perform poorly on tasks it wasn't specifically trained for. So we need to set realistic expectations. It's about using AI where it excels for efficiency, for data processing, and bringing in human skills where AI falls short, for empathy, for innovation, for critical, ethical judgment.
Okay. And with that power and those important limitations you just mentioned, what are the bigger responsibilities we need to keep top of mind as users, especially around making sure we're using it fairly and avoiding bias?
Yeah, looking at the broader implications, the ethical considerations are absolutely paramount. They have to be. A really critical issue is that AI can unintentionally perpetuate biases that were present in its training data, biases related to gender, race, age, you name it. I read recently about a system designed to review job applications that, purely because of its historical training data, started favoring male candidates for technical roles. No one programmed it to do that explicitly. And this can have serious real-world consequences in fields like hiring, legal assistance, healthcare, loan applications. So, users, we must be proactive. We need to craft neutral prompts, check the output for bias, and provide feedback when we see biased results. Another crucial aspect is something called explainable AI or XAI. That's the ability for AI systems to actually explain why they made a particular decision. This is absolutely vital for building trust, for troubleshooting errors when things go wrong, for learning opportunities, and just ensuring fairness. Especially when AI is impacting critical life decisions like credit scores or job applications. It's not enough for AI just to be smart. It really needs to be transparent and understandable, too.
That makes a lot of sense. So for those of us navigating this rapidly changing landscape, how can we best prepare our own careers? How do we become AI resilient in this kind of environment?
Right. I think the key insight here is that AI is likely to cause more of a role evolution rather than just outright job replacement for many people. Your current job duties might shift significantly, yeah? AI will probably take over more of the mundane, repetitive tasks. So the crucial strategy is to focus on developing and highlighting the skills AI can't easily replicate. Things like truly creative thinking, emotional intelligence, complex ethical decision-making, nuanced interpersonal communication, the human stuff. It's also important to learn about the AI tools relevant to your specific field. There are great free courses out there, like those from Learn Prompting, that are an excellent starting point. Maybe conduct what you could call a skill transferability analysis. Look at your existing human-centric skills like problem solving, empathy, strategic communication, and figure out how they can be applied to new roles or roles that are more resistant to automation. Think about careers that heavily rely on human interaction and nuanced judgment: healthcare, education, strategic leadership roles. At the end of the day, the goal isn't really to compete against AI, it's to figure out how to work with it effectively. That collaboration makes you an even more valuable, maybe even indispensable contributor.
Wow, what an incredible deep dive into generative AI. We've really journeyed from its fundamental mechanics and those diverse creative outputs all the way to the nuances of crafting good prompts and those really crucial ethical points that shape how we use it responsibly.
Yeah, and I think it's just important to remember that knowledge is most valuable when it's actually understood and applied. AI is an incredibly powerful partner, but it's designed to enhance our human capabilities, not, diminish them.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? As AI continues this astonishing evolution, handling more and more of the routine tasks, how will your unique human creativity, your critical thinking, your empathy define value in the future? What new, complex problems will you choose to solve in this exciting, sometimes daunting AI-powered future? Something to think about. We invite you to explore that thought further.